Guys, you've probably heard 1,000 different opinions about doing squats every single day. Some people say it's a game changer that can power up your legs and core like never before, while others insist it's the fastest way to wreck your knees and overwork your muscles. I remember when I was a kid, I often heard my older cousins debate whether squats were actually healthy or if they might cause all sorts of joint trouble down the line. It was pretty confusing, and if you've been wondering the same thing, you're definitely not alone. So what's the truth behind the daily squat hype? Are we over-exaggerating the risks? Or is this exercise really the key to building strength and stability you never even dreamed of? Well, stick around because we're about to explore some shocking results no one talks about, and trust me, it's going to be really interesting. Don't go anywhere because by the end of this video, you might be itching to test out a daily squat routine for yourself. Let's dive in. By the way, if you're new here, I'd absolutely love for you to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on these friendly deep dives into fascinating fitness topics. We have a lot of fun around here, and I really like it when the community shares personal experiences. It makes everything so much more relatable. So if that sounds good to you, definitely check it out. Now let's get into the juicy details on daily squats and why they might or might not be beneficial. First, let's explore one of the biggest myths about squatting every day: the idea that it inevitably leads to chronic knee pain. If you've ever had someone warn you about how deep squats destroy your joints, you're not alone. This misconception often comes from people who've either overtrained in the wrong way, used poor form, or heard scary stories about knee injuries. But here's what might surprise you. Science suggests that when done with proper alignment, squats can actually help strengthen the muscles supporting your knees. That means the quads, hamstrings, glutes, and even your core work together to stabilize your knee joint. Of course, if you push your body too far, too fast, like trying to squat twice your body weight daily without any prior training, well, that's risky. But for most people, especially those who build up gradually, daily squats can do wonders for overall leg strength and joint support. Now, moving on to the next popular concern. Isn't doing the same exercise every day going to lead to overuse injuries? You've probably heard people say variety is key in any workout routine. Generally, that's true. Mixing different exercises prevents muscle imbalances and keeps your mind engaged. However, if you really love squats or just want to see what happens if you do them daily, you can still incorporate variety within that single exercise. For example, you might experiment with different squat styles: the classic back squat with a barbell, front squats that shift the emphasis to your quads, goblet squats with a kettlebell, or even the humble air squat using just your body weight. You can also adjust your range of motion, tempo, and stance to target slightly different muscle fibers. By doing so, you reduce the risk of repeating the exact same movement pattern and straining the same tissues day after day. In fact, many athletes adopt a daily squat routine, often referred to as a squat everyday program, to improve technique, develop muscle endurance, and boost mental toughness. Let's consider an overlooked aspect: your connective tissues and ligaments. These structures adapt more slowly compared to your muscles. So if you're suddenly piling on heavy weights daily, you might not give your tendons and ligaments enough time to adjust. That can lead to nagging pains or even injuries. Here's a crucial piece of advice: start light. Even if you dream of squatting triple digits, don't jump right in. Ease into it with body weight squats, then gradually add load over weeks or months. Just picture it like learning to drive. You wouldn't hop on the highway at 120 miles an hour on your first day behind the wheel. When you give yourself that progression period, your body can adapt safely, and daily squats become far less risky. It's all about patience, guys. Trust me, I really like it when progress unfolds steadily, because you end up feeling confident and proud of the foundation you've built. Before I forget, there's one surprising factor that might supercharge your daily squat gains: your nutrition. Now, I know we're talking about leg strength and glute gains, but have you ever noticed how certain foods can ease inflammation or boost your recovery? One of my personal favorites is garlic. Yes, you heard me correctly, garlic! When I was a kid, I often heard my grandma say that garlic helps you stay strong. It turns out she might have been onto something. Garlic contains anti-inflammatory compounds and antioxidants that can support muscle repair, which is key if you're training a movement pattern like squats every day. Sure, it won't magically double your squat max overnight, but adding nutrient-dense foods, including herbs like garlic, can help reduce systemic inflammation, thus supporting faster recovery and better overall performance. By the way, if you've never experimented with introducing garlic or other anti-inflammatory foods into your diet, you might find it does wonders for post-exercise soreness. Give it a try and see if your legs feel fresher on day 7 of daily squats compared to day 1. So let's consider another crucial element of daily squats: mental adaptation. We often talk about physical changes, bigger quads, a rounder backside, stronger knees, but rarely do we discuss the mental shift that happens when you tackle an exercise every day. After a week or so, you build a habit that may feel less like a chore and more like a personal challenge. You start noticing subtle improvements in your form, from keeping your chest upright to pushing through your heels more effectively. That positive feedback loop can be incredibly motivating. You also develop grit, especially if you're doing loaded squats. Having to get under the bar and give it your all daily demands consistency and discipline. Guys, there's something transformative about that consistent practice, and it can spill over into other aspects of your life, like work ethic and time management. Suddenly, you realize you're more resilient and more organized, all because you decided to do squats every day. By the way, if you're enjoying this discussion so far, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. It helps the channel reach more people, and it also tells me you're finding value in these deep dives. I absolutely love making videos like this and sharing discoveries with you. And who knows, maybe we'll tackle another classic debate in the next video, like whether running every day is good or bad for your knees. But for now, a quick click on the like button goes a long way. Thanks in advance. Now, moving on to the results no one really talks about. Daily squats can influence more than just your legs. Your core strength often gets an impressive boost because stabilizing your torso during a squat demands a strong midsection. Many fitness enthusiasts chase after six-pack abs, but ironically, they rely heavily on compound movements like squats and deadlifts to build a solid core foundation. Also, your posture can improve because squats train you to keep your spine neutral and your shoulders in a healthier position. If you're someone who spends hours hunched over a desk or a smartphone, daily squats might nudge you to hold yourself differently, not just under a barbell, but throughout the day. I really like it when an exercise not only builds muscle, but also corrects some of the bad postural. Often, people assume squats are just about brute strength, but properly done squats can significantly improve hip, ankle, and thoracic spine mobility. Think about that deep squat position. Your ankles have to flex, your hips need to open, your lower back has to maintain a natural curve. Doing squats daily, especially deep ones that are controlled and mindful, can gradually increase your range of motion. This becomes incredibly useful for day-to-day tasks, from picking up groceries to playing with your kids. It's funny because we tend to take basic movements for granted until we struggle with them. When I was younger, I didn't think twice about squatting down to pick up something off the floor. Now, I realize how important it is to maintain that ability as we age. Daily squats might just keep you agile and comfortable in those everyday scenarios. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Can daily squats help with weight management or even spark weight loss? In many cases, yes, especially when combined with a balanced diet. Squats burn calories by engaging large muscle groups, and once you build more muscle, your resting metabolism can increase, so you burn more calories at rest. However, don't expect miracles unless your overall lifestyle supports it. If you're fueling yourself with nutrient-dense foods, including helpful additions like garlic, we had to mention our flavorful friend again, you'll likely see better results. Also, if weight loss is your goal, daily squats could be part of the puzzle, but you'd want to incorporate additional cardio or strength work too. That's because the body loves to adapt. If you do only squats, you might hit a plateau. Throwing in a brisk walk or some occasional upper body training can keep your metabolism guessing and your results coming. When we talk about shocking results, many people expect something like a 100-pound jump in their squat max. But the real surprises might be subtler. Discovering your knees actually feel more stable, realizing your balance has improved, or noticing you have more endurance climbing stairs. Sometimes we overlook these small wins because they're not as flashy as lifting huge weights. Yet these are the daily improvements that can improve your quality of life in a truly meaningful way. And guys, I've heard so many personal stories of people who started doing daily bodyweight squats, maybe 20 reps every morning, and after a month, they felt more energized, had fewer lower back twinges, and even found a new sense of confidence in their bodies. That sense of empowerment is worth its weight in gold, if you ask me. Another benefit no one really talks about is how a daily squat routine can teach you to listen to your body's signals more carefully. When you perform a movement every day, you become hyper aware of small aches and pains. This can be good because it forces you to address potential issues, like tight hips or an old ankle injury, before they escalate. You might even find yourself exploring different recovery techniques, such as foam rolling, stretching, or, as I mentioned earlier, anti-inflammatory dietary choices. Over time, this heightened body awareness can make you a smarter, more intuitive athlete or fitness enthusiast. You learn to differentiate between muscle soreness, which might just mean you're getting stronger, and sharp pain, which signals you should back off or seek professional advice. That's a life skill that extends well beyond your squat rack. In terms of actual execution, if you're seriously considering a daily squat routine, you'll want to track your progress. This could be something simple like writing down your reps and sets each day or using a phone app to log your load and intensity. By reviewing your notes, you'll see patterns, days you felt amazing, days you felt sluggish, or even days you had to skip because you were too sore. Tracking helps you make informed decisions about increasing weight or adding an extra rest day. Remember, even though it's called daily squats, listening to your body and taking a day off here and there if you need it is wise. You're not competing with anyone but yourself, and the goal is sustainable progress, not burnout. If you're still a bit skeptical, you might try a 1 week or 2 week experiment. Start with something manageable, like 30 bodyweight squats a day. Pay attention to your form. Focus on keeping your feet planted, knees tracking over the toes, core braced, and chest lifted. If you feel any discomfort, adjust your stance or depth. Maybe squat to a chair or bench if you need a reference point for how low to go. After a couple of weeks, see how your body feels. Do you notice improved stability in your hips and ankles? Less knee discomfort than you expected? More energy or mental clarity? That short experiment can be very telling, and you might be pleasantly surprised. By the way, if you've been enjoying this chat and want to explore more topics like this, make sure you're subscribed and have notifications turned on. I absolutely love hearing feedback and ideas for future videos in the comments. It's such a great way to keep the conversation going and build a supportive community. If you're curious about other exercises or fitness myths, let me know. I'm always open to suggestions and new perspectives. Sharing is how we learn together, and I truly value the input you bring. So let's recap the main points before we wrap up. Doing squats every day can lead to serious strength gains in your legs and core, help stabilize your knee joints, provided you maintain proper form, and may even boost your posture and overall mobility. It's also a fantastic way to cultivate mental discipline because you're committing to a single exercise daily, which can foster an incredible sense of routine and accomplishment. If you incorporate nutrient-dense foods, possibly even adding garlic for its anti-inflammatory properties, you might enhance your recovery and reduce soreness. Just remember that smart progression is key. Start light, pay attention to your connective tissues, and switch up squat variations to avoid repetitive stress. Before we go, here's a little final thought for you. Consistency often beats intensity. Sometimes, doing smaller amounts more frequently can lead to better, more sustainable results than doing 1 or 2 massive workouts per week. And daily squats are a perfect example of that principle in action. But I want to know what you think. Are daily squats something you'd try? Have you already experimented with them? Let me know in the comments below because I'm super curious about your experiences. Maybe you've got a personal story or a surprising tip to share. After all, part of the fun is learning from each other. Thank you so much for staying with me until the end. If you haven't already, definitely check out some of the other videos on this channel for more fun, fitness, and healthy living tips. I really appreciate you being here, guys. Until next time, take care of your body, keep squatting responsibly, and don't be afraid to challenge the myths out there. Go forth, squat on, and remember, sometimes the biggest wins come from the simplest daily habits.